So a new attachment for the AK47 was released for today. So this has been leaked for quite a while, which is the AK47 GRU grip combo. So this specific attachment is very conflicting to a lot of players because they don't really see it being a useful attachment, kind of like the Thunderbolt sling for the HBR. I don't really see a lot of people using it. Maybe I'm just not paying attention, or I just don't pay attention to the attachments. But for me, I just stick with the typical setup for the HBR. I never had a need to change it, even with the Thunderbolt sling being out. But this one actually does have some sort of purpose. Actually, for two reasons that I could see. So, of course, the reason why a lot of people do see this as a useless attachment is because, while yes, it does increase your bullet spread by a ton, as well as your stability and your range, and it also gives you a suppressor, it's the downsides that are the problem. And it's kind of expected because, there are a lot of good upsides for this attachment, but at the same time, there are a lot of downsides, which is basically the movement speed in general, whether it be ADS speed, ADS movement, or even just overall movement speed. It does get reduced by 3%, but for the ADS movement, as well as just the basic ADS time, it also gets diminished down to 35% ADS time, as well as 20% ADS movement speed. I also forgot to mention that the recoil reduction for the attachment is actually far better than you'd think. More than any attachment that I've ever seen, which is like, I believe, over 20% vertical and horizontal recoil. That's absolutely insane for an attachment. So it got me thinking, maybe the reason why this thing is so slow is because it's a battle royale type of attachment. And it would make sense because the ADS bullet spread does get increased by 40%. So, that's a huge increase, especially if you're going to play in Battle Royale where you have to kill people from a really long range. And that's mainly why I see a lot of people, agreeing that it's not really a worthwhile attachment for multiplayer. And even before the attachment was released, a lot of people did look at the stats of this particular attachment. They said, just stick to Ranger because there's no reason to use this in multiplayer. And I could agree to an extent because, well, yeah, the Ranger barrel gives you 40% range, which is absolutely amazing for a 3-shot weapon. You could 3-shot almost across the map. But if you put the combo grip on, it's not going to be as great because, yeah, your range gets cut in half and you have a lot more downsides to deal with. Well, keep in mind, you still have all those other benefits as well, but it's not as great as the Ranger barrel, at least when it comes to range, and I could agree with that. But the problem is that they're looking at this the wrong way. So the reason why I say that is because while yes, it is a heavy attachment, they never stop to consider what it can do for the other option for the AK-47, which is the 5.45 rounds. So I know where you guys think I'm going with this. You guys think I'm probably a psychopath or whatever. And, maybe I am a little bit, but remember when I said that this barrel does increase the bullet spread accuracy by 40%? So if you were to combo that with the 5.45 rounds, and keep in mind, it's not the only feature that this barrel has. It has, like I said, a lot of vertical recoil control. So even if you put a no stock with this gun to try to maximize the speed, you're not really going to be missing out on recoil control. It's still going to be an absolute laser. So if you put all that together, mixed with an OWC laser tactical as well as rubberized grip tape, it's going to pretty much become a laser. And keep in mind, the bullet spread is helping you hit your shots a lot easier in longer ranges. So you could end up hitting your enemies like around 20 meters away without missing a single shot if you're accurate. And that's something that you can't do with the 5.45 rounds mixed with a marksman or even a Ranger barrel. Well, at least not to the same degree as the GRU combo grip. And keep in mind, the 5.45 rounds as well do provide some recoil control, so it's even more of a laser, even though it's a small amount, but it's still something. So overall, what I'm saying is that with this combo grip as well as the 5.45 rounds, it helps it become an absolute laser. And like I said, yes, it's not beneficial if you do use the basic rounds because, again, your gun's going to be extremely slow. And what if you get into a situation where you're going to have to pick up your weapon as fast as possible? You're not going to be able to do that because, even then, even if you manage to somehow pick up your weapon before the enemy does, even if they have like a MAC 10 or something, you're still going to lose because of the low fire rate. So if you do put the 5.45 rounds on, it won't really be so bad. And even then, at long ranges, like I said, you won't really be missing any shots at all. So the GRU combo grip and the 5.45 rounds can serve as a dynamic duo for this weapon. I know some of you guys are still going to say that, well, it's still a pretty slow weapon, or there's no real speed difference if you have all that together than a ranger or even a marksman, bro. And yes, I agree with you there, but it doesn't really, like, even if your weapon's slightly slower than it would be with the ranger barrel and just normal rounds, you still have the potential to kill extremely fast if you, I guess, adjust your movement to the slow weapon. And you guys can even see it in the footage here where I'm just eliminating people like it's nothing. And what makes this even better is that you have a suppressor, you're off the map, as well as you have a 20% increase in range. So it's not that bad, but trust me when I say this, it's an absolute monster on the right hands. And I'll show you some gameplay right now, but first let me show you the class setup. So the class setup that I have for you guys is the GRU combo grip, of course, no stock, rubberized grip tape, the 5.45 caliber rounds, as well as the OWC laser tactical. So like I said, increases your accuracy by a lot, up to 78. So mix that with the 5.45 rounds and just all these other attachments together. And of course, the rear grip can be interchangeable depending on if you don't really care about recoil control. So you could switch it for maybe even a granulated or a stippled grip tape. And still, it's going to be quite a monster in close to medium ranges. And even long ranges, it can excel pretty well if you do have the rubberized grip tape. So the way I see it for this attachment, at least in multiplayer, is that, you know, with both the 5.45 rounds as well, one really can't succeed without the other. Of course, like I said, you could use Ranger or you could use Marksman or something that helps the recoil control for the 5.45 rounds and even the range. And yes, the Ranger does increase it by 40%, which is, you know, good. But at the same time, you want to be able to hit your shots as well and be accurate with it. And there's no better attachment than the GRU combo grip. These two attachments overall just complement each other extremely well. But anyways, that's my review on the GRU combo grip. Like I said, if you just want to use it with basic rounds, I suggest just using it in Battle Royale. But if you want to use 5.45 rounds, it's a much better option. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this new gameplay that I have. It's relatively short, so don't worry, I won't keep you guys long for this video. So yeah, anyways, have a wonderful day, guys.
Targets in sight! Enemy in sight!
UAV recon ready for deployment.
Changing mag! Targets in sight! Enemy in sight! Targets in sight!
Let's go. Reloading!
Contact with enemy!
UAV online.
Enemy contact!
Orbital laser is ready.
Headshot!
Need backup! Advanced UAV is ready.
Contact with enemy!
Advanced UAV is online.
Target down! Targets in sight! Enemy contact!
Recon standing by. UAV recon standing by. UAV online.
Targets in sight! Enemy in sight! Contact with enemy!
Friendly nuke is ready.
Reloading.
Enemy in sight!
Advanced UAV is ready. Warning, friendly nuke has been launched. Repeat, friendly nuke. Advanced UAV is online.
Enemy contact!
We're winning this one.
Enemy in sight!
Friendly hunter-killer drone deployed.
Enemy in sight!
UAV recon ready for deployment.
Enemy in sight! Targets in sight.
Enemy down! Reloading! Cover me!
UAV online.